Well, U.S. stocks are selling off at this hour, at session lows, in fact. The Dow losing more than 500 points, picking up steam, those industrials losses. The U.S. 10-year yield earlier rose above 3% for the first time since January 2014. Par for the course these days, these volatile markets. Our next guest says investors finally waking up to the reality of tighter financial conditions. Jane Buchan is CEO of PAAMCO with $30 billion under management and advisement, and she joins us now. Jane, it is great to see you. It's been a tough environment, particularly for the likes of hedge fund managers who should like volatility, but really it's volatility that's going nowhere.
It's incredible, Vonnie, what you say. For example, over half the days through this year, we've exceeded over 200-point drops. Last year, just for context, we're down over 450 right now. Last year, the maximum loss was 373 points. So this is just incredible volatility that's going up or down, and it's been a very difficult environment.
How are you deciding where to leave your money, what strategies in terms of hedge funds are working, and whether to pull your money or wait for a little longer?
We've tried for years, but we can't predict the markets. So what we look for is fundamental value. Where we find value, we think over the long term, fundamental value is going to win out. So we look for a lot of relative value trades. It makes it choppy as the markets go up and down. But one of the things, both Europe and the Asian equity markets were down big in the first quarter, and people forget about that.
Yeah.
One of the notable moves that we've seen was investment-grade credit underperform high yield for the quarter. What does that tell you, and where can you find opportunities then?
Right. So what's interesting is that spreads are really tight. So what's happening is you're seeing a tightening in high yield, which is why it's come in. People are desperate for yield. Even though the 10-year has now broken through the 3% barrier, people are still searching for yield. And the risks that people wouldn't invest in before, now they'll take those bonds.
We are now seeing, as Vonnie mentioned, a lot of volatility, yields just rising, but we also have so much from the supply side when it comes to the treasury markets. $32 billion of 2-year notes. How does that play into the equation?
What you say is very true, but on the other hand, you also have a lot of people who want to keep their assets in U.S. dollar securities. When you look at the global turmoil, there's a tremendous amount of assets overseas that want U.S. dollars, so I'm not certain how the supply and demand is going to balance out.